What's going on, guys? Mike here, and welcome to the first part of a video series that I've wanted to do for a really long time, but I've never actually had the time to really get into it. And that is teaching or making videos about something that I've been doing for quite a long time, and that is website design. I know a lot of people out there have always wondered, like, how do I get into website design, or what are the resources that I need in order to do it? How do I go about learning it? Is it expensive? Can I do it for free? It's gonna take a lot of time? And I've been doing it for, oh geez, I'd say about 6, 7 years or so, or at least learning for 6, 7 years. And it's something that took a lot of effort to get into doing and a lot of research to start, especially back. I say back then like it was a long time ago, but like 5, 6 years ago, there wasn't that much out there in order to go about learning. It was a lot of time spent in, like, your local bookstore, reading on books, reading up about HTML, reading up about like CSS, stuff like that. And online is a great tool to go. Like, they have wonderful websites like W3 Schools is one of the greatest websites out there in order to learn HTML, and it's something I've used even to this day. I'll still use. I'll go up there, I'll check up some stuff, if I can't think of something. And forums are your friends. However, not a lot of people really like to do a whole ton of reading and having to click or not knowing what they're looking for. So I figured, why not make a whole bunch of videos teaching HTML and have each video focus on one portion or one step in order to learn everything. For instance, this first video is just going to go over the very basic programs that you can use in order to become successful with HTML. And then, like, part 2 or video 2 is going to be about, how to get started and actually writing your first very basic lines of code. I've seen a lot of videos out there, and part 1s of videos usually start out with, you're jumping right into code already starting. And I feel like, not everyone knows exactly where to start or what programs to use or what programs are the best. So I figured for part 1, we'd go over that, and I can just explain and tell you guys what I use and recommend some, like, great sites out there or some great programs out there where you can use. So to get started, everyone has it. If you're a Windows owner or not a Windows owner, everyone has this form of program, and that is Notepad. Now, Notepad is actually as basic as it gets, but it will still get the job done. For instance, this would be your HTML tag, and all you would do is HTML, and all your code would go in between these two taglines, and that's it. And then all you would do in order to turn this little Notepad document into an HTML editor is you'd obviously save it, and you can't actually save it here, but you'd save the file type as, I wonder if we checked all files real quick. No, it does nothing. But you'd save the file type as, let's just say, home.html, and then that little file type will now work as an HTML document. So anytime you open it up, it will open it up with HTML. So Notepad is very basic. It's something that a lot of people use, especially when they're first getting started, because they either don't have the resources to go for the big programs, or they don't know the big programs out there, or even they don't know the good free ones. So Notepad, like I just said, something very good. The next free program that I would suggest, if Notepad is a little too basic for you, it's not everything, is this one right here. This is Notepad++. Kind of the same thing in a way. It's kind of your very basic little Notepad functionality. However, the way it works is it has a lot of like tag options that you can do, and if you notice, it formats everything in a way where you can see your tags and so on and so forth. Like, when you go to File here, you can save as, and this, oops, that's actually something I'm working on. But this, when you click here, you can see you can save your file types as pretty much anything. They have, your C++ files, your C# files, but if you scroll down the hypertext markup, this would be your HTML, and you could save this one as home. Just save it as home, and here you go. Oh, came up on my desktop. There you go. But if you look here, it'll highlight your tags, so it has a little bit more functionality, But again, very basic and something that I've actually used, as you saw. I will still use because it's something that I'll use really quick or something on the go instead of opening up big programs such as DreamWeaver, which I'll get to in a second. So another option right here, this is Notepad++. And if you guys are concerned, like, oh, I'm not going to remember the names or something, I'm going to have all the names in the description of all the programs I talk about, so don't worry about that. And if you see this file, if you double click it, you actually can't see it because it opens up on my second monitor. But that is that program. Let's now go ahead and delete this. Goodbye. The next program that we will go over is one that I actually just mentioned, and if for those of you that do own it, it is, as you see right here, this is Adobe DreamWeaver. Now, DreamWeaver is the cream of the crop when it comes to video editing. Excuse me, when it comes to website design, HTML, or any type of coding that you're pretty much going to be doing. These are all my local files, believe it or not. Go figure, we'll just close that one. However, what makes this one so powerful is it pretty much has everything you need in a programming program, that sounds very redundant, at your disposal at all times. Especially because it's what's known as a what you see is what you get. What you see, WYSIWYG. And what that means is as you see here, most likely you will start in normal code design and you can change it to split. So what this would do, I'm just going to write a simple little line of code here. If you notice, I like to space everything. So we'll start a paragraph, not there, go figure, and this is, we don't know how to type, a paragraph, and then we'll close it. So now what happens here is you can see this little thing is a paragraph, and if we click on the design, it'll pop it up for us right here. So this is what is known, as I said, a what you see is what you get. Very powerful tool, something that everyone should use. If you don't have access to DreamWeaver, since it is a fairly expensive program, then there are free ones out there, which I'll get to in one moment. But this is a very powerful tool. It lets you, as I said, pretty much see anything that you're going to type at all times. This is a header, the largest header you can make. And we'll close it, and then you click here, and bam. So very powerful tool, something that if you're really serious about website design, or you're really serious about programming, and you really want to get into it, and you don't want it to be too difficult, or not being able to see everything, or having to save everything and then open it, find the file, open it, and look and adjust that way. What you see is what you get are programs that you should really look into using because they make everything a hell of a lot easier. But like I said, if you can't afford DreamWeaver, that's okay because there are free programs out here, and I will pull up a website for you right here that will showcase all the different free ones. These are the best free, what you see is what you get HTML editors. Kompozer is actually one that I used. Whoops, did not mean to do that. This is one that I used for quite a bit of time before I got DreamWeaver. It works just as well as the same. You write your code, you save, and then it'll pop up for you. But if you're not, if you don't like Kompozer, or if you tried it, you don't like it, you have Coffee Cup, Amaya, that's another good one. Nice Edit, never really used. Silverlight Rich Text Editor, that works. Some of my friends have actually told me about that, and Markup. Markup's another good one. But these are just a few programs that I have used, and some that I would suggest. If you're just starting out and you don't want to get overwhelmed with all the what you see is what you get stuff, or you don't want to get overwhelmed with the DreamWeaver stuff like you see here, start very basic. Start Notepad, start Notepad++. Even I think there's one called Notepad 2 or something like that. But so very basic if you want, or if you want to start, with cream of the crop, go your DreamWeaver, go your Kompozer, go your Amayas, Markup, stuff like that. And again, I will put all the names in the description for those of you who can't remember them or forget and don't want to go back and check the video. That's perfectly fine. But that's pretty much going to be it for part one. Just very basic. Just wanted to let you guys know about the programs that are out there, and maybe even see a few little lines of code if you were curious. This is a paragraph and this is a header, like I labeled here. But so that's going to be part one. In part two, we are going to go over the starting it, very basic starting it, how to pretty much just open with your beginning tags and close your beginning tags, And that's going to be that. I want to take it very slow because not everyone learns at the same pace, and I want to keep everything very basic. I'm not going to go into crazy designs. I'm not going to grow into making these crazy menu bars, incorporating CSS, cascading style sheets. I'm going to wait for a little bit of time. I want everyone to get the hang of it and everyone to get in the motion of writing HTML code, because learning the basics is, you have to get it down. You don't want to be in the middle of a design and getting to a part and being like, oh my god, like what do I do here? And then realizing you messed up 10 steps back and you have to rearrange all your code. It's a giant mess. So I figure start simple, start right, and I'll give you the tools to start your own website and to maybe even teach me a thing or two or design some sites and let me look, because like I said, I've been doing it for years. I consider myself fairly knowledgeable when it comes to coding. I went to college for it. I got degrees in it. So that's that. So thank you guys for watching part 1, and I hope you enjoy this long and ongoing series that was not just going to stop at HTML. We might even bring it to some Java. If you notice the background, that is Java code and other stuff like that. So thanks for watching.